Bristol City have signed George Earthy. He joins on an initial season-long loan deal from West Ham United up in the Premier League and provides some necessary cover in Bristol City's attacking regions. And as a number 10, also fills the position that one of the positions that Bristol City have been after all summer. So what will George Earthy bring to this Bristol City side under Liam Manning? And what could this mean for potential other transfer targets as well? Earthy's predominantly a number 10, has played that position multiple times for the West Ham under-21s team, where they typically play a three at the back with kind of three up top as well, with a double pivot in midfield. So he kind of tucks in to make two number 10s, and George Earthy is one of those number 10s off the main striker. He has come on for West Ham in a couple of games up in the Premier League as well, and in fact, he actually scored in one of the games as well against Luton Town, the 3-1 home win for the Hammers. He got on the end of Mohamed Kudus's cross off some brilliant movement from the back post to the front post, and something you see very rarely. Shows his talent, shows his awareness in the box. So hopefully that can be added in Bristol City, and that can be shown as well over a full season. And hopefully a manager like Liam Manning can extract that from him and develop him as a player as well. West Ham have a lot of quality in their squad, that goes without saying, like Lucas Paqueta and Mohamed Kudus in those kind of 10 positions. If you add Chris Somerville along to that as well, it makes it very hard for someone like a George Earthy to make that kind of transition into the first team and get more game time, especially considering the fact that David Moyes, who was the manager who gave George Earthy his debut, has also left the club and been replaced by Julian Lopetegui, who probably wants to give the more senior players a bit more of an opportunity in his first full season as West Ham manager. So it makes sense for someone, a player like Earthy, who showed a lot of promise clearly, not only when he's come on for West Ham in the Premier League, but also in their academy system, and perform really well there to earn a move to the Championship. Because you don't, even if you are a player who is in those Premier League academy ranks, you still have to show some promise to get a move as high as the Championship, or you will be shipped out to somewhere like League 2 or League 1 way. The quality is obviously less, it's still a good move, but you still have to work hard to get a loan move to the Championship. So George Earthy's clearly done that, and hopefully from a Bristol City perspective adds something very different to the squad and can improve us as well. Well, it's been a bit of an open secret that Bristol City have been after Scott Twine all summer. He has really been the predominant primary target Liam Manning has been after, and whilst talks are still happening with Burnley, as each day goes on and as this saga kind of drags out from the start of the summer, it feels like it's less and less likely that he will be joining on a permanent or a loan deal or just returning to Ashton Gate in any way, shape or form. So the fact that we've been very proactive about this and signed someone who's got a lot of promise about him, and even though he's not kind of Championship season, maybe it's a similar level Scott Twine is, and maybe not showing the same amount of quality, or maybe isn't the perfect fit for this Liam Manning system, it's good that we've been proactive and good that we have signed someone in the building so that at least we have covered that position. If by the end of this transfer window we have signed both George Earthy and Scott Twine in some capacity, that's great for options, but also cause a bit of a headache, because if Scott Twine is, in the building, he'll probably start because we've been after him all summer, and he'll probably want to start as well in a Bristol City shirt, and continue with this 4-2-3-1. What does that mean for George Earthy? And I'm sure West Ham haven't sent one of their most promising young players out on loan to the Championship just from to sit on the bench behind Scott Twine. So it'll be interesting to see how that Scott Twine deal goes, and if that does come off, how it'll impact George Earthy as well. For West Ham under 21s last season, he made 21 starts for the West Ham under 21s last season in Premier League 2 campaign, and he scored 10 goals and accumulating 9 assists as well. So 19 goal contributions and 21 starts, pretty good returns. So hopefully, even though it is the Premier League 2, it's still a reasonable quality coming up against some really good players in other Premier League academies as well. Hopefully that translates to a good season. We can carry that momentum from last season, as well as that goal from against Luton in the Prem, to the Championship this season and really make his mark, as West Ham have said they want him to. All in all, I do think this is a very good move for both sides. For West Ham, it allows one of their promising young players to get moved in the Championship, very competitive division, physically bulk him up as well, potentially. And for Bristol City, provides a little bit of quality, and, that's never miss. And I know people might, go on about whether loan deals are, are they sufficient? Are they sustainable? Are we going to be in the same position in 12 months' time where we're looking for another number 10 because, the same, let's say Twine doesn't come in, we're in the same position, aren't we? We're looking at another loan deal or potentially fishing around different markets and try and find number 10 to replace Earthy. But if you look at all the best teams and the teams that have been promoted from the Championship, even last season, Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton, they all had a couple of loan players in there who made a massive difference to their team. Leicester had Callum Doyle on loan, who they could not afford in the Championship. Ipswich had Amari Hutchinson, who they couldn't afford in the Championship, and Southampton had Ten Harwood-Bellis and Ryan Fraser, who were key parts of that team, who they couldn't afford in the Championship. So I do get kind of, to a degree, the aggravation about loan deals, and they're not our players, and why are we helping other clubs? But the additional quality that we can't afford because we're in the Championship, we're not in receipt of parachute payments, will be very helpful, even if it's just a loan deal. And on top of the quality we do have in those positions already, it's really not a bad deal. And I do believe that, if Bristol are to have a successful season, those loan deals will have to happen, and those will have to be successful. And yeah, that's clearly the route that Liam Manning has gone down. I know previous managers of Bristol, Roger Pearce in particular, was against them to a certain degree, but it's really important, and Bristol have clearly chosen George Earthy as one of those players who can add real quality to the front line and hopefully help us have a successful season. But that is it. Thank you very much for watching this video, everyone, and I suppose it's the last thing to say is welcome George Earthy to Bristol City. Hopefully this is a very, very successful loan spell, and there's loads of memories whilst you head off back into the distance in West Ham. And yeah, hopefully we've just kind of accumulated a star, really, in the making. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Keep safe, everyone. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the Average Shop Show for more Bristol City content in the future. And yeah, I'll catch you all very soon. Cheers.